I'm actually recording this particular session. I'm recording it. And the reason I'm actually recording it is so that you can actually have access to it even after. So, to all the guys who've raised their hands, thank you for raising your hand. And thank you for, being, how do you, what's the name for that? Thank you for just raising your hand and good. Is it good acquittance or whichever, but thank you so much for raising your hand and agreeing to chime in the discussion. Thank you so much for being part of this. Today we are not talking about mokorinos. Someone is talking about mokorinos over here. I'm not talking about mokorinos. Today we are talking about online branding. It's an online branding masterclass, and I'll give you a brief illustration about myself, or basically a very simple introduction about myself. Is my name is Elvis, and when I mention the second name is a bit of a problem to many people, so I try and avoid as much as I can to mention that name. But my full names are Elvis Warutumo Gitao, and as you can hear the names, they're a bit technical, but you can call me Elvis W. That's still okay. I am a graphic designer, I'm a web designer, I'm a freelancer, I'm a professional, as well as a content and digital content creator, or you can call me digital creator. And I've actually been doing content creation for a little over close to 2 years now, and I can say it's very, very good for me. It has actually allowed me to create an online brand that is sensible. And with that, I've actually been able to generate leads. I've been able to do trainings. I've been able to network with people. I've been able to impart and empower people. And today's session is all about online branding. So, building an authentic online brand, ladies and gentlemen. So, I want you to just ask yourself the very simple question: what is the situation with my online brand? How is my online brand? What do people think about me when they see me online? That's a question you should be asking yourself. And I'll ask this very simple question to you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, who can actually define what an online brand is, or what is online branding? If you can, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you think you have a definition about online branding. Beam Scott Music. What is an online brand? Beam Scott's Music, you are actually unmuted. You can define online branding. What do you think is online branding?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Elvis. My name is Bim Scott, rather Duke Ali. Online branding
Mhm,
is building a brand online, like having it's called um in another form. It's like having to establish yourself as a brand online
mm,
to be
mhm,
able to showcase different kind of content, like
mhm,
being a person, a built person who can showcase and also market some given,
mhm,
let's just say ads. You can do some um, advertisement, such kind.
mhm. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. A round of applause to Beam Scott for the definition. I'll give this chance to one lady, Gwendolyn Amanda. What is online branding?
Um, Hi,
Gwendolyn, go
Ellie.
ahead. Hi, hi, Gwendolyn.
Yes, so basically, I'd say branding is um, what people will say when technically when they see your name. For
Mhm.
example, if someone sees Elvis, your name on social media, what will they say about you? The first
Oh,
thing that comes to their mind is basically what online branding is, how you branded yourself online.
very well. I like that definition. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. Now, without maybe any further, maybe additions, I think thank you for all those for the two people who've actually shared definitions on online branding, and those who've actually shared the same on the chat section. So thank you. But let's define online branding, ladies and gentlemen. Online branding is the process of, number one, creating, and number two, promoting a distinct image identity of yourself or your business on the internet. So I've actually highlighted two very important words. The first word is creating, the second one is promoting. So online branding is the process of now creating and promoting a distinct image or identity of yourself or probably a business on the internet. So that's basically the very simple definition of online branding. Ideally, you're trying to create a certain image of yourself or a business on the internet, and you can actually you would create it and you promote it. That's one thing you have to understand. So online branding involves, number one, you use websites. Number two, you use social media. Number three, you can actually use blogs or any other online platforms that actually exist. And the reason for using these is to communicate what you stand for, what you offer, and what actually sets you apart from others. So the main thing about online branding is, first of all, communication. That's the most important thing. Number two is to tell what you stand for, your values or your proposition, what you offer. What is it that you offer? Do you have a product? Do you have a service? And then what sets you apart from others? And that's something we refer to as a unique selling point. That's something you have to remember. Now, the goal of online branding is to make a memorable and a positive impression on your target audience. So this actually helps you do what? Attract and retain customers or followers. So one thing, if you think about it, most people don't get it, don't actually get it right. When someone creates a social media platform, probably you're a professional, or probably you're just someone who is selling products. The first thing most people expect is to make a sale. But when it comes to online branding, the first thing is creating it, then promoting it, and then leveraging the creation and the promotion to actually make a living out of it or even money from it. So the goal of online branding itself is to make a memorable and positive impression on your target audience. This actually helps you to attract and retain customers or followers. Now, by show of hands, how many guys have an online brand? Give me a thumbs up. Sorry, give me a thumbs up if you have an online brand. If you know you have an online brand, I can see a good number of guys actually over here. Now, how many guys are actually able to generate sales from that particular online brand that you have? Give me a thumbs up if you're able to generate sales. Like, for example, someone is going to approach you and tell you, we've seen that you've posted that you do CVs, that you probably that you've posted that you actually also engage in copywriting. So maybe what I'm looking for is for you to provide the copywriting services for me. I'm a graphic designer. This is what I do. This is my value proposition. And these are the services I offer. So you put all that online. All right. So I want us to use a very good example. This is Jen. Is there anyone called Jen over here? Do we have anyone called Jen? If you're Jen, give me a thumbs up. Tabi Wamboi. Peterson is also called Jen. You guys, man. Kwani mumechange, you've Jane Munene. I can see John. John seems to be mistaken. John. How is John related to Jane? But anyway, no problem. It's still allowed. So ideally, this is Jane. And I'm hoping you guys can actually see my PowerPoint presentation. If you can, give me give me a thumbs up. Okay, very well. This is Jane. I want us to think about Jane. Jane is actually someone, she's a digital marketer as well as a search engine marketer. So Jen uses the internet to craft and showcase her unique professional identity and expertise. All right. So what Jen does is that she creates a cohesive and memorable image of herself across various online platforms. The first platform she uses is LinkedIn. She also has her personal website. She also has Instagram, TikTok, and industry blogs to highlight her skills, experiences, and insights in digital marketing and search engine marketing. So we've used a very simple illustration of Jen, and Jen happens to be a what? A digital marketer as well as a search engine marketer. And for that, she has her website. She also has some social media presence, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and she also does blogs. So why does she do all this? It allows her to highlight her skills, experience, and insights. So Jen, on a regular basis, is going to share insightful articles and tips on her LinkedIn profile. Get that? You see, anytime you have a LinkedIn profile, and this is something I actually find a lot of times, is that guys will first educate. They will share insights, they will give like a story, they will probably give an article. Some of them will even do very nice posts that are actually, first of all, insightful. And then she's going to share articles and posts and tips regarding the latest trends in digital marketing. Now, she's also able to demonstrate her search engine marketing successes through case studies on her website and engages with her followers on TikTok and Instagram by answering their queries related to her field. Now, I tend to think that at this point in Kenya, you don't really need to have a physical business for you to provide your services. Now, I believe the biggest number of people who are in this particular session are professionals. And for you as a professional, one thing that you have to understand is that you literally don't need an office for you to provide your services. All you need is an authentic brand. Now, the case study of our example over here is this lady called Jen. Now, Jen is a digital marketer as well as a search engine marketer. And her role is basically search engine marketing services and digital marketing services. So she has blogs that actually talk about her services, and she also gives some case studies of how successful she's actually been in search engine marketing. That's basically creating an online brand. Then this is Jane again. You can see the images are actually very clear. So in any case, because we are still educating ourselves, I want to tell you that if you're looking to get such images, you can actually use a website called freepic.com. I believe a good number of you guys who've actually been learning graphic design, video editing, all the rest. If you're looking for maybe um, assets for graphic design, video editing, and the rest, you can actually find them on freepic.com. But however, you have to pay for some of these images. Like a brief example is this image. It's actually been paid for. All right. Now, through these activities, Jane not only communicates her professional values and expertise, but also builds a recognizable personal brand. That's something you have to understand. So this is Jane again. We're using just images so that you can get to have like a visual representation of what you're expecting from her. So this online presence basically helps Jane to stand out in her field. First of all, it allows her to stand out in her field. Number two, it allows her to attract potential clients looking for her specific skills. Someone is probably saying that I'm looking for this particular specific skill, and Jen is that particular person who's going to provide digital marketing services as well as search engine marketing services. Then she's actually able to establish herself as the go-to expert in digital and search engine marketing. That's something you have to understand. And this is all crafted and made possible by the presence of a what? Of an online brand that she eventually uses to get to target clients and potential customers who are seeking her services. All right, we move on. Are we together up to that point, ladies and gentlemen? Are we together? Are we together up to that point? Okay. Now, I want you to follow me very closely. In fact, if you have a pen and paper, write this down. Despite, I'll still share the slides with you, but it's important that you get to understand this. And these are the components of an online brand. Follow me. All right. Component number one is brand identity. All right. Brand identity. All right. And the first thing, the first subcomponent of a brand identity is visual elements. Now, these visual elements include number one, logos, number two, color schemes, and number three, typography, and other visual aspects that make the brand instantly recognizable across various online platforms. So, let me explain it to you. A good number of you guys who are actually on LinkedIn happen not to have a visual brand identity, such that if I open LinkedIn and I see a particular color, I exactly know that that is Grace. When I open LinkedIn and find a post that has been created and crafted using a certain logo, without even further scrolling up, I already know who that is. That is what we refer to as brand identity. And remember, if you want to treat yourself as a professional, you need to stand out. Standing out means that you have a brand identity. So if you don't have a logo, you need to get one right now. All right. Most guys are actually operating without logos. Even if you're going to get a logo with your name, just probably the logo is just going to have your name, just like Isaac Masharia. That is enough for people to already know that this particular person actually this is that particular person I'm looking for. So a brand identity is very, very important. Visual elements, and mostly it also comes in colors. Like for example, there's a certain color scheme that Safaricom uses. There's a certain color scheme that Airtel uses. And if you look at these particular color schemes, you're going to find that they are so dominant, all right? They're so dominant when it comes to even when these guys are actually sharing, even posting billboards. And why do they do this? So that they are instantly recognizable. So when you see it, you already know that's Airtel, that's Safaricom, that's NCBA Bank. Then there's something. How many graphic designers are here? How many guys are doing graphic design over here? Now, I would recommend this because most of you are guys who are actually professionals. I would recommend that everyone understands how to work with graphical elements such that you can wake up at night and craft your own poster and post it on your social media profiles. You see, we have this problem where we don't have one brand identity that someone can understand. Like, I also had to struggle with it because one thing about branding is that you have to, first of all, have uniformity in all your branding. In all your branding, you have to have uniformity. Uniformity meaning colors have to be the same. We also need to have like almost the same kind of imagery. We also need to have the same kind of abstract usage. We also need to have almost like everything has to be visually understandable, such that when someone opens your posts and sees this particular color that is actually being used all through, or probably a certain typography that is actually evident in all your graphical elements, this person is actually instantly able to recognize this is this particular individual. Number two, in brand identity is your voice and tone. Now, someone might think that the voice and tone is actually just about. So, guys, kindly, I would recommend that kindly stop chatting in the chat section. I would really request that you don't do that because it's bringing a lot of distractions when you're having the session. So, just allow for now. Let's not maybe send all these messages. We can do it after. So, the voice and the tone. Now, this is just all about the style of communication used in writing content reflecting the brand's personality. First of all, you could actually have a professional, friendly, authoritative, or conversational style, depending on the brand's character. Now, someone might probably have you ever opened some guy's post? Like, okay, there is something about my post, especially on TikTok, and it tends to have guys say that I'm actually very and they say that I'm very authoritative. Juzi niliitwa manga, and I was like, okay, it's still okay. But you see, at the end of the day, the message gets there. Are you getting me? So, like, I think you guys are getting what I'm saying. That is the voice and the tone. When you read my posts on LinkedIn, there is a kind of, let me say, there's a seriousness that I actually, eh, exude. Then, if you went to TikTok, it's almost the same thing. You find that the voice and the tone are almost similar. So people have to know that if you read a certain post, especially on LinkedIn, without even thinking twice, you already know who was actually posted that. And you have various styles of communication that is in terms of voice and tone. And I said, first of all, you have the professional one. Number two is friendly. Number three is authoritative. And number four is conversational. Now, it happens that most people on LinkedIn actually tend to go on the line of the professional tone when communication, which is good. But remember this, when you're crafting your online brand, you have to have the same consistent tone, or basically the same consistent voice and tone across your social media platforms. Number two, we move on to the next component, which is the brand message. I find that a good number of guys are actually doing it properly, and I like it. First of all, is value proposition. This actually says it's a clear statement that actually highlights what the brand offers or what you offer as a person, your uniqueness, and why it matters to the target audience. Now, remember, the reason for you creating or crafting your online brand is not you. You're crafting it for your target audience. You get me? You also have something referred to as a brand story, and the brand story is basically a narrative that actually has the brand's history, mission, values, and basically what it stands for, helping to create an emotional connection with the audience. I tend to think that at this point, if you ever want to have people follow you, if you ever want to have people actually getting to interact with you, you have to strike them emotionally. So give them a mission, a value, history. Just tell people what you stand for as a person. Now, a brief example is this. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the professional. I always say that I'm a learner, and all these I'm actually sharing with you is from my learning process from various guys on social media, And a brief example of something we refer to as a value proposition is I will boost your brand's visibility and engagement online with expert digital and search engine marketing. Is it a yes or is it a no? What do you think? Is it a yes or is it a no? Will you give this guy a job, or you're going to say no? This guy is kind of, I don't like this guy. So, what do you think about the value proposition? Like, probably it's Elvis, and and I actually run a digital marketing agency and a search engine marketing agency. This is my value proposition. I will boost your brand's visibility and engagement online with expert digital marketing and search engine marketing services. Already, someone knows that this is what I expect from this particular person. Number two, I will help you stand out, connect deeply, and grow your business with expert digital marketing services. Very short statement, very short sentence. Someone already knows what they're expecting from you. So it's all up to you for it's actually all up to you to craft a very good brand message in form of a value proposition, or you can even give a brand story. That's something you can think about. There is another one I actually did try and play around with words kidogo. Now, I want you to think of this because despite always saying that I will, all the rest, now I want you to look at this. Because being visible and impactful online is what truly matters, we can do that. What do you think about that statement? Imeweza haijaweza. Now, for those who don't understand Swahili, I mean, is it, hey, how do I translate that? Jesus. Imeweza haijaweza. Has it defeated? Has it not defeated? I think you understand the language anyway. So let's just move on. So this is just a very simple statement of a value proposition to help you just attract the right people to your brand and probably attract the right customers. Good. Now, number three, a website and blog. Now, how many professionals over here? And don't lie. How many of you guys have websites? How many of you guys have websites? One, two, I've counted two people, three, four, five, six. Where? Six people, seven, eight. It's like 10 people. So 10 people out of 287 guys, only 10 people have websites. A website is very important, ladies and gentlemen. You see, a website itself is your business that is running 24/7. It's your digital office that is running 24/7. So in any case, hata ukiwa melala, someone can get information about you. And our website is very, very important. So our website and a blog, this is actually the central hub for a brand's online presence. It provides detailed information about the brand, its product or services, and valuable content related to its field. It's very important for you to get to understand that. And typically, if you're not able to pay for a website, you can actually do it yourself. Nowadays, we have advancement in technologies. You don't really need to understand how to code. You don't really need to understand frameworks. You don't really need to understand all these. All you need to understand is how to use content management systems, something like WordPress. How many guys know how to use WordPress over here? How many guys know how to use WordPress? Yes, you can use WordPress to craft your own website. And this actually provides detailed information about what you do as a brand. Number four, and this one is the fourth component of an online brand, is what we refer to as social media presence. How many guys have social media presence all around? If you're on social media, if you're on any social media platform, and I don't mean that you're on social media and you're the guy who is actually, there are these guys we refer to as keyboard warriors. If you're a keyboard warrior and you have social media, I'm sorry to say, but that's okay. How many guys are on social media seriously? How many guys are on social media seriously, where you regularly post about what you do as a person and basically share about what you do? It's good to see a good number of people. How many guys are on LinkedIn over here? LinkedIn. How many guys are on LinkedIn? Yeah. How many guys are on Facebook? Facebook. Because Facebook is actually the most used social media platform in Kenya. How many guys are on TikTok? TikTok. Despite, even if you dance, even if you dance on TikTok, that's okay. It's okay. No problem. How many guys are on Instagram? Instagram. Yeah, it's good. It's good. But remember, having a social media presence is very, very important. And this is one thing I would really advise you. If you're a professional, try and actually exist in at least two social media platforms. It's really going to help you. So social media presence, this actually means that you have profiles, and not only profiles, but activity, right? Something going on in your accounts. And this means that you need to have a profile on an activity on platforms like, first of all, we have LinkedIn, we have X, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, and very many others. And these are actually tailored to engage the brand's target audience and expand its reach. Social media presence is one another important aspect or component when it comes to an online brand. Component number 5 is content strategy. And this is somewhere we get to go wrong. Now, content strategy actually means this means the planning, creation, and the delivery, sorry, creation, delivery, and governance of content. So this means that you need to have effective content management. You need to have an effective content strategy that supports the brand's message and engages the target audience through valuable and relevant content. Content strategy. What kind of content are you actually going to be pushing on social media? And how many guys have ever sat down and thought of content strategy? How many guys have ever sat down and had like the thought perspective? You have like that self assessment and you're thinking, what's my content strategy? How do I actually communicate and share my message across social media that is actually going to be very authentic to people, for people to listen, for me to actually get to generate leads and eventually probably convert these particular leads into potential customers? So you need to have that content strategy, the kind of content that you're going to be sharing. So let me share a story with you. I think a good number of you guys know me from TikTok. I started TikTok through comedy. You know that? You guys, me, I used to do comedy, bana. I used to talk about Subarus. I used to talk about Mazdas, Demius. I used to talk about Toyota Mark X. Yani, I just used to talk about anything comical. I used to do comical kind of content. But then one day I was like, wait, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a web designer. I'm a developer. What am I doing in comedy? Why am I sharing comedy? What is the role of comedy? What do I get from comedy? And I was like, no, I think I need to change my content strategy. And eventually I had to change my content now from comedy to instantly. I actually got to instantly get into personal development. And that is how I was able to actually be able to build uh, I was actually able to build a very good online brand. And that's something you can actually think about. Content strategy. We move on to the next part, search engine optimization. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this actually means that you need to have techniques that you can actually use to improve your brand's visibility in search engine results. Someone is going to search for your website. I'm a search, it's not coming anywhere. Hata iko huku juu. You search for the website, you have to go to page 5, umeenda uko page 8, you're not finding the website. That is the reason as to why you need to have SEO. And search engine optimization is basically using the right keywords and the right kind of content and the right kind of, words, statements that will actually make sure that you appear at the top. So when someone searches for James Bogwa, I'm a scroll, it's not scrolling, is not seeing James Bogwa anywhere. Why? Because James Bogwa has not actually adopted the right approach when it comes to search engine optimization. So, techniques used to improve a brand's visibility in search engine results, making it easier for potential customers to find their online brand. Now, let me just give you an illustration, a bit of an illustration. Yeah. So, I don't see this, but let me see. Let me just share my screen again so that you can see this just as an illustration. And it's very, very important for you guys to remember this because eventually you're the professionals, you're the guys who know your thing. So it's very important for you to get it right. So, like, for example, I don't know. Can you guys see my screen? Can you actually see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen very well. Nice. So, like, for example, if I come over here and I search for Terra Creations. So, Terra Creations happens to be my agency. This is where I provide all my web design services. You see, it's already appearing at the top. So, a client or a potential customer is not going to be having problems opening my website. Why? Because it has actually gotten the proper search engine optimization to make sure that it appears at the top. All right. Another example would be something like, do you know something else, by the way? Let me tell you. How many guys have a LinkedIn account over here? How many guys have a LinkedIn account? If you have a LinkedIn account, give me anyone, just give me the name of your LinkedIn account. Anyone, first person, anyone. Yeah. Someone is saying Arani Brian. Let me search for Arani Brian. Arani Brian. Most of the time, the account that is actually going to appear at the top is your LinkedIn account, and you can actually see it over here. So if I open this is the guy. All right. Now another LinkedIn account. Someone has said Grace Akoth. So let me search for Grace Akoth. Grace Akoth. It's supposed to be at the top. When you've done your most of the time, it's like by default. You're always going to find that it's the LinkedIn account that is going to be appearing at the top. So remember this and really let this get into your mind properly. When you have a properly well done LinkedIn account nowadays, the first thing that probably potential guys who are looking to hire you, the first thing they'll do is it DM? How many of them are there? Okay. So the first thing that you're going to see is the LinkedIn account. And remember, your LinkedIn account is like your personal brand. So treat it like with the seriousness it deserves. Now, I was actually just trying to explain something about SEO. That is basically to show you it's important for you to have every kind of platform that you use, that you appear at the top. Now, let me show you something else. If someone was, I want to know who is this Elvis W guy? So I normally have my website over here. This is the first thing that you're going to see, my website over here. And all across, you're going to find that all my social media platforms are going to be existing over here. All right. Someone is trying here. You see, this is my Instagram. This is my TikTok. All right. This is my Facebook. This one is an old LinkedIn account. Yeah. So all these are actually just meant to help you understand everything about me. Like if you look at these, you can see that I have like consistent branding on this particular search engine. And you need to achieve this as a professional, basically. You need to achieve this to an extent that now people don't have a problem with knowing about you. All right. So, like you can see, my website is actually at the top. You see this? So, if someone opens this, they can actually get relevant information about Elvis. They already know who this guy is. And then the next thing that you can see is probably a blog. So, you can see activity. Not only do I have a website, but there is activity in it. What kind of activity? You can have blogs. You can even decide to have courses. Like if you look at this is a blog. Now let me open another one. Let me open another website. So this is another website that I have that is meant to, it's actually pegged to this. The mother to that website is this one. All right. So if you look at this, you can see there is activity. Like this one is a course I had about night school, and it had, I think, the guys who signed up were like 390. So already it shows that there is some activity going on. That's how you build a brand and authenticity. Now, that is still on the part of SEO. Let's move on. All right. Are we together up to that point, ladies and gentlemen? Have you gotten something? If you've not gotten something, you can. How do you submit feedback? Okay. 7. Online reputation. Online reputation is very, very important. And what online reputation means is the perception of the brand on the internet. And how is this done? It is shaped by, first of all, customer reviews, ratings, and social media mentions. Yeah. Active management of online reputation is crucial for maintaining a positive brand image. If in any case you find, like, for example, let me ask you something. You've opened TikTok, and in the comment section of someone, you see that, wewe ni scammer, you're a scammer, you're a thief. Then you find that it's not only one comment, it's like 3 of them. You stole from me, you thief. When you find such comments, what do you think about that particular person's brand? Is it tarnished? Is it good? What do you think? In the chat section of this session, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing, obvious. Because you see, your brand has to be really authentic, and you have to make sure that your online reputation is perfect. And this is a component in your online brand that you have to make sure is right. For me, I would rather say that it's better you don't chase the money, but you maintain a good brand. Because believe me, you can spend the next 5 years building a brand only for one comment, only one comment to bring it all down. Why? Because you rushed to get money. So take care of your online reputation, because believe me, if my online reputation was bad, I don't think you would be here. I would have yapped and told you, "Oh, guys, come! I'm having an online branding masterclass," and these guys would be saying, "See, this guy was the one who was scamming people recently. Now he has an online branding masterclass. Kwani anafikiria sisi ni wajinga? This guy, eh? That's the thing. Your reputation is very, very important as an online brand, because how people see you and perceive you online, believe me. And what's the first thing as Kenyans that we look at? We look at reviews. Yeah. Reviews in terms of, you can ask someone, by the way, huyu jamaa fulani naonanga akibonga mingi on TikTok and on LinkedIn. This guy called Elvis. Do you think I can trust the guy? And some guy is going to say, that guy is a thief, my friend. That guy, believe me, even if I'm not a thief, you believe that guy. All right? Probably nilimkosea in this and this and this way. But remember, your online reputation is very, very important. Give people a reason not to hate you. All right? Sometimes I'll get hate from people, like just like that. I'll get hate from people. But I don't even have to fight my battles. Why? Because I don't have any reason for you to hate me. So your online reputation is very, very important. Bad reviews is always about, it always brings in about a bad reputation. Number 8 is also very important. You need to have something we refer to as an engagement strategy. And this actually means that the plans that you have for interacting with the audience through comments, messages, and social media posts to build relationships and foster community. Your engagement strategy. What is your engagement strategy? I actually had to learn this the hard way. If you ever want to grow on any social media platform, it's not always about posting, it's about the engagement that you get with people. For me, kuna watu kidogo, you're going to send me a DM and I'm going to ignore it. Sorry to say this, but for me, I always try to have engagement in the comment section of other people's posts and my posts. With that kind of engagement, I'm actually able, people are actually able to see, who is this guy? This guy, when I post something, is always commenting. So I'm able to even like show you that I can engage with your posts. At the same time, when it comes to the engagement of my posts, I try as much as I can to respond to comments from other people. It's very important for you to have an engagement strategy. There's a person I literally saw. The guy had very nice content about financial matters. But mutu wangu, the guy is doesn't respond to comments. So ideally, it's all about, you don't get to have that engagement with your close followers or the people who follow you on social media. It's very important for you to have an engagement strategy. Analytics and monitoring. This is basically using tools and methods used to track the brand's online performance, including number one, you have to track your website traffic. You also have to look at engagement rates and the effectiveness of marketing campaigns to inform strategy adjustments. Believe me, you cannot be doing the same thing for 30 years and there is no change. You get, there's a point you have to get and think, this thing is not working. I have to change my tactics. And how do you do that? Analytics and monitoring. Monitor the progress of each and everything that you do online so that you understand, where am I supposed to change my strategy? Where am I actually supposed to check and change these? How am I able to support? How can I actually change my content strategy? What do I need to change about my content? I did a digital marketing campaign recently, and these were the results. Why didn't I get leads? Why didn't I get clicks into my website? What really happened? That's how you're able to do strategy adjustments, analytics, and monitoring. That's a very, very important aspect when it comes to your online brand. So, a quick summary of the components of an online brand. First of all, is brand identity. You need to have a distinctive visual style and unique voice that make a brand recognizable online. Brand identity. If you don't have a logo, start thinking of working on one today. Number two is your brand message. This basically communicates the brand's unique value and connects emotionally with the audience. You also need to have a website and a blog. This is actually the central online hub, offering detailed information and valuable content about your brand. Social media presence, we cannot stress it enough. We say engage and expand. It actually allows you to engage and expand the audience through tailored content on various platforms. Content strategy is very important. This actually means that you plan and publish relevant content to support the brand's message and engage the audience. SEO, this is actually enhancing your online visibility so customers can actually easily find your brand. Online reputation, this is actually managed through customer interactions to retain a positive brand image. You also need to have an engagement strategy. This actually helps you build relationships with the audience through interactive communication. Then you need to apply analytics and monitoring. This is basically tracking online performance to refine and improve branding strategies. Very good. Up to that point, ladies and gentlemen, do you think we should come to an end ama tuendelee? Tuendelee, tusiendelee? We go on or we don't go on? Give me a yes or a no in the chat section of this particular session. Someone is saying really bad. Not really. We can go on. Okay, very well. Why do you need an online brand? Why do you need an online brand? The first reason, and I'm actually going to give you 7 reasons as to why you need an online brand. First of all, and get this, is visibility. An online brand increases your visibility across the internet, making it easier for potential clients, customers, or employees to find and engage with you or your business. I don't think I have to explain that anymore. Visibility is very important for your online for you, and basically that's the reason as to why you get an online brand. Number 2, an online brand builds credibility and trust. Nowadays, people will not trust that you have a shop. Yeah, I'm very truthful. It's very true when I'm saying this. People will not trust that you have a shop. People, all right? People will only trust when you have that social media platforms. Believe me, someone will say, wait, before I come and buy in your shop, send me your Instagram profile. Nione kama ni kutupa ama si kutupa. And then you're like, I don't have Instagram. Believe me, I'm telling you this from my own experience. I would rather go and buy from that shop that has a cubicle but has some social media presence. Believe me, because it builds credibility and trust. Like, for example, you're probably looking for a law firm. What's the first thing you'll do? What's the first thing you'll do? You're going to go to actually going to go on Google and search for law firm near me. You're not going to go and start running around Nairobi Westlands saying, I'm looking for. No, that's the first thing you're going to do. You're actually going to first check online. So it allows you to first have visibility and then credibility and trust. Now, a well crafted online brand helps people build credibility and trust with your audience. People are actually more likely to engage with brands that present themselves professionally online. Present yourself professionally online and build credibility and trust. Now, number 3, let's move on. Differentiation. Now, in crowded markets, an online brand helps you to stand out from competitors by highlighting your unique value proposition and strengths. Differentiation, all right? We have a crowded marketplace. Why do you stand out? Your online brand is well and professionally crafted. Community and engagement. Now, an online brand actually enables you to build and nurture a community around your services, products, or values, fostering loyalty and repeat business or engagement. Community and engagement. It's very important for you to get to understand that. Number 5 is you need to have a controlled narrative. The reason as to why you have an online brand. Now, with an online brand, you have control over your narrative and and how you actually perceived by the world. This allows you to effectively manage your reputation and respond to any challenges that arise. A controlled narrative. Let's say like basically explaining it out and saying that you are actually your own boss. You're either the one to build yourself or take yourself to damnation. You have a controlled narrative about your brand. Now, opportunity creation. A strong online brand opens up new opportunities for number 1, business growth, partnership, career advancement by basically showcasing your expertise and making you more attractive to potential collaborators. Very important. It's very, very important. And you see, that's the reason as to why a majority of you guys are actually missing it out. You're a very good video editor, you're very nice, but when someone searches for you anywhere, they don't find you. There is this thing, and it's kind of a habit that I'm finding it with very many of us Gen Zs, where you think that there's this thing. What do you call? There's this thing Naskianga, and I personally hate it. I'm an introvert. Yeah. How many girls have had that? If you've had that, give me a thumbs up. If you've had that, mimi ni introvert. How many guys have had that? Where everyone is always saying, Mimi, I'm introverted. I'm an indoors person. Then this person is going to come to you and tell you, Elvis, I'm skilled in this and this and this. I'm looking for a job. And then you tell the person, send me your profile. No, I don't do social media. I just like to stay calm. I'm indoors. All this. How do you expect? Yeah. How do you expect that opportunity is going to come knocking on your door? And you see, sometimes we have to understand and adapt to the changes that we have. Opportunity is not going to come knocking on your door. And I'm not saying that you being an introvert is wrong. I mean, for Christ's sake, continue being an introvert. Me, I have no issue with that. But at no point should you come and say that the economy is bad, because if you're an introvert and you're making money, that's cool. But if you're an introvert and you're broke, just because you don't want to get onto social media or try and have an online brand because you believe that you're an introvert and it sounds nice. How many times how many adverts have you seen that have been written? We are looking for an introvert. How many guys have seen that? The introvert needed. How many guys have seen, like, literally you've seen someone say, we are looking for introverts. Introverts are highly recommended. If you know any introvert, please send it. You get. So an online brand needs you to actually be there and out here. So, and this is how you actually create opportunity for yourself. Point number 7 is market insights. Now you have to allow me to take some water. Yeah. All right. Market insights. So, engaging with your audience online provides valuable insights into their preferences, needs, and feedback, which can actually inform product development, service improvements, and marketing strategies. So, the moment you have a brand, an online brand that you've crafted properly, you are actually able to actually get market insights. Now, probably if you're selling a service, you get to understand what advancements or what improvements can you do to that particular service. Probably you have a certain service and you realize that like, let's say you're a graphic designer and you're thinking, by the way, I'm finding guys asking for web design services. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to listen to them and bring this as a service to my business. That is what we refer to as market insights. Good. Up to that point, ladies and gentlemen, are we together? Are we together? We are almost done. We are almost done. So don't worry, don't worry. Now, skilled professionals also need online brands. Skilled professionals also need online brands. Skilled professionals, we have video editors, graphic designers, programmers, all these guys, user interface, user experience designers, all these guys need online brands. Probably, like for you as a person, like I find photographers claiming that they don't need an online brand. You need one. People need to know everything about you. Now, and here I'm actually going to give you 5 compelling reasons. And here is the entertaining part. And this is the entertaining part, because I know a good number of you guys were waiting for this. Yeah. There's a guy who literally said, I just want to see that particular concept. Now, to make it more interactive, I'm going to actually unmute you, because I know very many guys want to say this. You want to shout. Yeah, you want to shout. So I'm actually going to unmute you. And as long as, listen, please don't be in public. All right. I like to engage with people literally so that we can actually get to share. So I'm going to unmute you guys and I want you to okay. Go ahead. What is this?
Umbwa.
Shock delete
Umbwa.
unakam kuchunguza
Umbwa.
umbwa
Umbwa.
Umbwa wewe.
umbwa
Hey, hey. Someone was waiting so that he can now give us a full lyrics. Yeah? How many guys have seen that meme on TikTok where you find that everyone is always waiting for that part, and you're breathing, literally waiting. You can waiting for the guy to finish the chorus and until he gets to that point where now everyone is like umbwa. Like I think majority of you guys have actually thought of that. So now for you to think about this, I'm not insulting you. I'm not trying to tell you whatever. This is just an acronym for, first of all, for the 5 compelling reasons as to why you need an online brand as a person. You in Umbwa stands for your unique positioning. All right. That is reason number 1. Now, an online brand allows you to highlight your specialty. All right. It allows you to highlight your specialty. So this means that you can actually stand out in a crowded market by showcasing your unique skills, style, and approach. An online brand allows you to differentiate yourself and highlight what makes your work unique. That's something you have to understand. So, when you position yourself in a proper way online, people get to trust you. That is what we refer to as unique positioning. You, that is for the you in Umbwa. Market reach for M. Now, for the M, this means that with an online brand, you're actually able to expand your audience. Now, an online brand enables you to reach potential clients beyond your local area, opening up national and international markets. This global visibility can significantly increase your client base, project opportunities. Now, as I said earlier, I have a problem with L and R. So in any case, at least najaribu kuzisensa. So we've talked about market reach. You're able to actually expand your audience as a professional, as a skilled professional. Okay. Are we together up to that point? Ama bado uko kwa umbwa, bado uko huko too, you're still there. Are we together up to this point? Okay. B. B stands for business growth. So for you having an online brand as a skilled professional, you're able to attract more opportunities. So this means that you have a strong presence that acts as your 24/7 portfolio, showcasing your work to potential clients and employers. Now, by effectively communicating your value, you can attract more business opportunities and projects. That is what we refer to as business growth. Then we have work showcase. That is for the W. So, with your online brand, you can actually use it as a portfolio. And a portfolio basically gives you power. So, for creative professionals, that is guys in websites, in UI UX design, video editing, animation, an online brand serves as a dynamic platform to display your portfolio. It's a space where you can control the narrative around your work, present case studies, and demonstrate the impact of your projects. That is what we refer to as the work showcase, having a strong portfolio about what you do as a person. The A stands for authority building. All right. Now, you're able to actually establish expertise. Regularly sharing your knowledge, insights, and updates about your field helps build your reputation as an expert. This authority not only attracts clients, but also leads to speaking engagements, workshops, and collaborations. You're able to be that authoritarian in a particular sector or field. That is what we refer to as authority building. Up to that point, ladies and gentlemen, are we together? Are we together? We're almost done. We're not taking long. It's a Monday. Guys are busy over the week. So I want to make sure that you get value for your time. How can you craft a successful online brand? And follow me. The first thing that you need to understand is you need to define your brand identity. Now, remember, we've said that your brand identity is a component of your online brand. All right. So, first of all, you need to understand your unique value. That is, identify what makes you or your business unique. Consider your strengths, skills, and what sets you apart from the competition. All right. Your brand identity. You also need to define your brand's values. All right. Now, determine the core values that drive your business or professional ethos. These values should resonate through every aspect of your online presence. Your brand identity. We've talked about your brand identity, and it's very important for you, ladies and gentlemen, to get to grasp that. Define your brand identity. That's the first step. Step number 2 is know your audience. First of all, you have to identify your target audience. Clearly define who your services or content is meant for. Get that. You don't just wake up in the morning and say, wacha nitengeneza video. Let me put a post on LinkedIn. Watajua hawajui. You post a post and within 10 minutes, people are not even interested in it. So identify your target audience. This one means that you have to clearly define who your services or content is for. This means that you need to understand your audience's needs, preferences, and pain points that will guide your branding strategy. Know your audience. Who is your target market? Who is actually going to listen to you? Who might be your potential lead? Who might be your potential client? Then you need to tailor your message. Craft your brand message to speak directly to your target audience, addressing their interest and how you can solve their problems. You need to get that. I actually like what I see on LinkedIn. Someone is going to put out a post and say, are you a busy professional? This and this. So already, this person has already crafted a message and said that my target audience are these particular busy professionals. Probably you're talking about CEOs and the rest. So know your audience first. Number 3 is you need to design your visual brand. So this, I mean, you need to create a visual identity by basically having a style that reflects your brand identity. These will include number one, logo, color scheme, typography, and many other visual elements that will be used across all your online platforms. And this means that you have to ensure consistency. Your visual identity should be consistent across your website, social media profiles, and any other online content to build recognition and trust. Design your visual brand. That's the most important thing. How people will actually perceive you online, or basically, your colors, your logo, everything, they have to be unique and they have to be well known by people. Then you need to build a strong online presence, develop a professional website. That's very important. You need to create a website that is actually very good and make sure that search engine optimization is done. You need to do keyword research. You need to be at the top. You also need to have social media. All right. Create social media platforms. I would recommend, if probably you're that kind of a busy professional, not busy professional, like you want to be that person who is well known, I think I would advise you to first create LinkedIn. That's the first one I would recommend. Number two, you can do Instagram or TikTok, or probably if you can also do Facebook. But it's also very important for you to also have a website. It's very important. Number five is create valuable content. You need to develop a content strategy. So this basically means that you need to plan and produce content that adds value to your audience. This could be a blog, podcast, videos, or social media content that basically showcases your expertise and builds authority. Think about that. What is your content strategy? You see, most guys have almost the same kind of style, all right? You need to be having that kind of a unique strategy. Yeah? So you need to develop a content strategy that is unique, a content strategy that will actually help you even getting to target your direct potential leads or customers. Then you need to be very consistent. This means that you need to have regular updates on your website or even on your social media platforms with new content to keep your audience engaged and attract new followers. For any person who is actually starting any social media platforms, here's what I'll tell you: in a day, post a minimum of 3 times. Consistency is very, very important. And I like it when I see guys on LinkedIn. Like when I was joining LinkedIn, I was told that, by the way, LinkedIn is very serious. Don't come and post like 50 posts in a day because people don't like that. And I was like, okay. But I was posting 1 post a day. And then I decided one day I'm going to do 4 posts a day. And it was very okay. As long as you're consistent in what you're doing and you have content that is of value, people are willing and ready to listen. So create valuable content. That's step 5. Then you need to engage and network, interact with your audience, respond to comments, messages, and emails. Engagement builds relationships and fosters a sense of community around your brand. Then network online and offline. So join relevant online forums, groups, and attend industry events to connect with peers and potential clients. All right, that is engage and network. How many guys go to networking sessions over here? Na sisemi ile networking session, the one munashindanga mkifanya hivyo tu. I'm not saying that one. What I mean is a networking session that makes sense, where you're there discussing things that really vitu zina make sense. I don't mean hiyo yenye mnaenda kufanya there are guys who go to these networking sessions. I think you guys are getting it. I had a child in this particular session, so sitaki kuongea. So where you find someone that how percentage is anaambiwa 50%. Yeah, there's another thing we call chaser. I'm not meaning those networking sessions zenye munakuwa na chaser, all these things. I think you understand the kind of professional networking I mean. Then number 7 that is very important for your brand is you need to monitor and adapt. So this basically meaning using analytics program. Yeah. You need to use analytics that basically make sense. So this means that you track your online performance using tools like Google Analytics and social media insights. This data will help you understand what works, what doesn't, and where there is room for improvement. Yeah, you need to get to grasp that. Be very flexible. Now, the digital landscape is always changing. That's one thing you have to get to grasp, and be prepared to adapt your strategy based on feedback and evolving trends. You cannot be posting the same thing for the next 20 years. You get it? And that's why you find that content creators in Kenya tends to expire very fast. Why? We are not flexible. All right. When you realize that the kind of content that you've been posting is not what people are looking for, change. If you realize that now people don't want to be seeing all these typing posts and you have to move on to videos, go ahead. If you have to get to the point where you have to start a podcast, please do. Because this means that you're able to monitor and adapt. Where you find the changes that you want to make and make them immediately depending on your audience and your content strategy and the engagement that you're getting. Observe your engagement. All right. Are we together up to that point, ladies and gentlemen? Are we together? Are we together? Very nice. Now, what to avoid when creating your online brand? What should you really avoid when you're creating your online brand? Number one is inconsistency. You need to have visual and voice consistency. So this means that a lack of consistent branding in terms of visuals, messaging, and tone across different platforms can confuse your audience and dilute your brand's identity. People find that on TikTok, you're doing comedy. On LinkedIn, you're advising people about relationships. On Facebook, you're talking about avocados. Yeah. When they go to your Instagram, it's you and your girlfriend. Then again, probably they find that you've posted this kind of thing over there. You confuse your audience. You have to have that kind of consistent visual and voice all across your social media platforms. And let me tell you, by the way, because a big number of you guys over here are probably jobless or probably you're freelancers. You need to understand this. Despite you having social media is not meant for your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Because some of you have been pressured into posting your girlfriend on Instagram. Yeah. You have to post her on Facebook. Who do you think is going to come and employ you because you have a girlfriend and your boyfriend? You know, I tell people, me, I'll slap reality onto your face because I think it's important that you wake up. When you're building your online brand, it is your online brand. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend doesn't come in place. Listen, so even on LinkedIn, if you're a professional, stop telling us about your husband, the love of your life. Do you think we're going to give you a job or probably work with you just because you've told us about your boyfriend or your girlfriend? And that's what we refer to as inconsistency. On LinkedIn, you're talking about very serious things. When someone goes to Instagram, they're like, I, wow, they're finding memes over there of you insulting Ruto and the rest. People will not, they're going to find a different visual and a voice. Yeah. They find that your Instagram is very clean. But when they come to your TikTok, they're like, ah, 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 this one, apana. Let's not give this one. This one might fail us. Consistency is very important. We move on, ladies and gentlemen. Mistake number 2 is ignoring your audience. The first mistake is not engaging with your audience. Number 2 is misunderstanding your audience needs. So you need to take time to understand your audience needs and truly understand, yeah, what do these people want from me? You get, believe me, when I'm creating content, it's not meant for me. It's meant for my audience. All right. When I post anything on LinkedIn, it's not for me. So when you start thinking of pouring out your feelings on social media because you think that you have to pour out your feelings as a professional, people don't care. People, let me tell you one thing, and you have to understand this. You're trying to get into people's emotions and stuff. Yes, you might give yourself, you might be telling us a story of your baby daddy or how depressed you are. But let me tell you, people are selfish. I would rather go and watch cartoons than listen to someone talking about this baby daddy on Instagram. True or false? Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you a very simple question, ladies and gentlemen. You open LinkedIn, and then you find nowadays people have these very nice hooks to make sure that you read the post. My baby daddy left me. I want to ask you a very simple question. Are you, as a professional, going to read that? Are you going to read that? Are you going to read that and say, by the way, I think I would listen to this story, by the way? Really? People are like, first thing, people are selfish. You know what they'll do? Guy, is this person stupid? How do you post this on LinkedIn? I'm actually reflecting what you guys would think. Is it true or false? Is it a yes or a no? Because realistically, we have to come to the conversation that when you're doing or creating any online brand, it is not about you. Yeah, it is not about you. Most guys think that it is about you. You ignore your audience and start posting your stuff. Yeah, yes, it's nice for you to have some engagement and tell people about this and that, this and that. But you see, your brand or your audience, these are the kings. These are the kings and queens. Yeah. And you really have to get to grasp that when you're building your online brand, sorry, it is all about making sure that you are as professional as possible. So you don't need to ignore your audience. If your audience is actually looking for this kind of content, you have to give it to them. So don't ignore your audience and don't misunderstand them. All right. Neglecting content quality. How many guys have opened? How will I use it? Hey. Okay. What do you think about the quality of this particular session? What do you think about the video quality? What do you think about the video quality of this particular session? It's good, yeah? Again, it's not really about the video, it's the kind of quality of content. First of all, let's demystify one thing: poor content quality. One thing you have to understand that you need not only, especially for written content, publishing content that is poorly researched, written, or produced can harm your brand's credibility and professionalism. Get that? Poor content quality. Kuna mtu anaenda chat GPT, write me a post about a CV, anachukua pua, anatugongea LinkedIn. You open the post like this and you're like, chat GPT. Is true or false? Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking the truth here. It is quite evident with very many Kenyans. Poor content quality. Content that has not been researched, it has not been written properly. Now, I'll show it to you realistically. I want to show you what I do with my content, because most of you guys tend to have this idea. Yes, use chat GPT to better your content. You're even going to find someone has not even removed the placeholders. Now you see, like, I don't know, let me zoom in. Can you see this? Oh, I don't think you can see it, but let me just share my screen over here. I'm going to share how many guys use this app called Google Keep Notes, where you write down your notes and something over there? How many guys use this particular thing? So this is where I first craft all my posts, especially especially when it comes to LinkedIn. Every post, I write it down over here. All right. As you can see, I write it down over here. So when I first write it down, I have to read it. It's called Google Keep something notes, something like that. You even have the mobile app. If you're using Android, unless we're on to an iPhone, you have the app in your phone. So this is where I first of all write down all my content, and I'll do like 3 or 4 posts per day. And when I write it down, like if you look at this, I first write it down over here, and then now if you've written it down, you can even go ahead and use any AI to paraphrase it. Yeah, it's as easy as that. You need to have that, quality content. Kuna ingine unafungua bwana, you're like, chai. This person has copy pasted everything from ChatGPT. Number 2 is overemphasis on selling. All right. Constantly pushing sales without providing value can turn your audience away. Balance promotional content with valuable, informative, or entertaining content. Now, let me be very clear with you. You've opened a post, and the first post, the thing you've read is, I offer web design services. Wake up tomorrow. If you're looking for a website, you can contact me. Day 3, unataka website. Day 4, if you have a problem with a website in Kenya, you can come and I'll give you one. Day 5, if you want a website in this country, I am the best web designer. Let me tell you, hata ukuwe na kazi ya website, you will not give it to that guy. Believe me. And you see, people buy with emotion. They don't use logic. Logically, huyu jamaa ndo anafaa kupatiwa kazi ya website because he's talking about his services. But you see, people like this thing. There's something we refer to as value proposition, and we mentioned it. What value am I getting from you? Mimi sitaki unitengenezee website. What am I getting from you first? You get me? So first of all, before you create a website for me, what am I getting from you? Believe me, I normally have classes. Can you guys see my screen? Someone is saying that they cannot see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. I'm hoping you guys can actually see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. That is the topic I'm talking about. Overemphasis on selling. If you're very good in CVs, acha kuambia watu you're very good in CVs. wapeleke mosmos. Yes, let these people know you. Let them know that this particular person is involved in CV writing. Let this particular person know that, by the way, I can get this particular service from this person, but now and offer valuable content. We have something we refer to as overemphasis on selling. Don't sell it to people. How many times, like, let me ask you a very simple question. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you seen Toyota post an advert and say, Toyota Hilux, this and this, 5 million Kenya shillings? How many times have you seen it? If you've traveled anywhere, you've come across a billboard imeandikwa Toyota Land Cruiser, this and this, 10 million Kenya shillings. How many times have you seen it? How many times have you seen NCBA Bank post an ad and say that if you want to create a very good bank account, come to us, we only charge 500 shillings? How many times are you going to see that? Are you going to see that? You see, that's the reason, that's the one thing we have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. People will not buy from someone whose emphasis is selling. You get? I would prefer that person who first offers value to me. No, before I buy from you, what am I getting from you? So when it comes to you crafting your social media posts, whether they are video format posts, whether they are social media posts, static posts in your website, don't sell. All right? Because one thing you have to understand is that promotional kind of content or an emphasis on selling will actually bring about neglection in content quality. Are we together up to that point, ladies and gentlemen? Are we together? All right. Then you have the issue of underestimating the power of SEO. You've created a very good website, but when someone searches for it, it's nowhere. It's actually nowhere to be seen. So you need to optimize your online content for search engines, which can actually significantly which can actually increase your visibility and improve your ability to attract new followers or customers. The power of SEO. Then we have number 5 is being impersonal. So your brand, your personal brand should reflect a personal touch or brand personality. Now, being too corporate, yeah, or impersonal can make it hard for your audience to connect with your brand. I like it, like, and this is a tip I'll actually share with a number of you guys on LinkedIn. Most of you guys, you have to understand that people like authenticity. This is what I mean by authenticity. There are these photos you're going to find on LinkedIn all the time. Guys are always serious, like they're always seated like this, very serious. They're like, and they're always posing. They're like all the time. I think Karen already gets it. Namwonanga sana na hizo post. Or you find them like this. Yeah. And this guy has crafted a very nice post. Then you find another one is always serious, like very serious. Like you're always going to find very nice photos. Listen, you have to have a personality in your brand. You see, when you have something like that, like for me, I'll take a selfie anywhere, even in a matatu, I'll take a selfie. People will get to have that. But then this guy, despite him talking, there's a kind of personality he has, which is nice. But you're always going to find someone very seriously, like, yeah. I think you guys on LinkedIn get it. All the time, you're always like serious. Same case when it comes to you crafting your video content. Yeah, someone is saying uko serious kama watu wa global, but those guys exaggerate it. But anyway, what I'm saying is that you need to have a certain personality when it comes to your brand. Yeah, get it. Yeah. Number 6, overlooking mobile optimization. So normally nowadays you're finding that a lot of things there's something you need to understand, that nowadays you're finding a lot of websites. You need to understand that everything you create, whether it's a mobile application or website, it has to be optimized for mobile phones, because nowadays a lot of content is being consumed on mobile phones. So you need to optimize everything that you create with for smartphones, because even if you have a website, believe me, majority of the people who would actually visit your website, like brief example, let me show you something over here. So I have the digital marketing bootcamp that is coming up, and we are actually doing some overview. Like I was just looking at an overview of just getting to understand the analytics of the guys who've actually opened the website, and basically the devices that have been used. And you're going to find that most of the time it's all about, most of the time you're going to find it's mobile phones that have actually been used. So let me just open SiteKit over here. You're able to, you see with this, you're able to monitor the clicks that you get on your website, maybe on a daily basis, maybe in 28 days. Yani the number of people who've actually visited your website. Like you can see this, and you see it tells you the devices. It tells you like, first of all, like this one is organic. It tells you like this is organic search. This one tells you this one is direct. This one is paid social. It tells you, it even tells you the locations from which people have actually clicked your website. Like this one, you can see that 89.3% is in Kenya. All right. Then as you scroll down, you're able to see which devices have been used the most. Let me look for that particular tab. And most of the time, you're going to find that it's mobile devices that have actually opened websites a lot of time. So, like you can see this, 94% of the people who've actually opened my website is these are mobile devices. The next one is desktop, only 33 users. So you see, you have to optimize each and every website. You have to optimize each and everything that you create for your online brand for mobile applications. Very, very important. We move on as we just cruise nicely, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, where are my slides? Where are my slides? Good. I am thinking we are good. Then, as we said earlier, failure to monitor and adapt. That's one thing. You need to be very sure that you use analytics and be ready to change. I think we already explained that. Number 8 is ignoring online reputation management. That is basically you neglect your online reputation. That is failing to address negative reviews, comments, or feedback. And this can actually harm your brand's reputation and trustworthiness. Then next is spreading too thin, being everywhere unnecessarily. You're going to find someone is in TikTok, is in Threads, is in Instagram, is in all these. This guy even has all kinds of weird social media accounts. So this means that you need to that is trying to maintain an active presence on every social media platform without considering where your target audience actually spends their time. This can actually dilute your efforts and lead to burnout. So anytime, like for me, I mostly specialize in creating TikTok content. So when it comes to Facebook and Instagram and all the rest, someone has that managing for me. So, but that is, I concentrate on what I can actually post. For me, I do only TikTok and LinkedIn. Tosha. The other someone can actually do the managing for me and all the rest. So I get a digital marketer who is very good in search engine, that is search social media management, who can actually help me in that. Then this is our final discussion for the day. I think most of you guys like everything about money, so I had to include this so that you can get it. So how do you monetize your online brand? You've created your online brand, yes. So how do you make money from it? It's very important that we get to discuss that. The first one, you can sell your products or services. This means that you can offer direct sales, that is, offer your products or services directly to your audience through your website or social media platforms. These can be physical goods, digital products, or even professional services. If you're a web designer, create websites. If you sell makeup, post it over there. If you sell ebooks, post them over there and sell to your audience. Number 2 is affiliate marketing. You can earn commissions by promoting other companies' products or services and earn a commission for every sale through your referral. So you need to choose affiliate products that align with your brand and provide value to your audience. Number 3 is sponsored content. This means that you can partner with brands. You collaborate with brands to create content that promotes their products and services. You also need to ensure that these partnerships align with your brand's values and are relevant to your audience and maintain trust. Sponsored content is very important. Number 4 is advertising. First of all, you have display ads. For example, you have your website. You can utilize advertising programs like Google AdSense to display ads on your website or blog. You can earn money based on the number of impressions or clicks, clicks the ads actually receive. Then you have direct ad sales. That is basically selling advertising space directly to companies interested in reaching your audience. Probably you have a website that has like 1 million visitors a month, and then you tell company like Safaricom, hey, you want to have display ads in my website? Very well, you can. So just bring your ad. I'm going to sell you this particular space for 250,000 Kenya shillings a month. Direct ad sales. Number 5, we have membership or subscription models where you have access to exclusive content, meaning that you can offer premium content or special benefits to members or subscribers for a fee. This would be something like newsletters, video content, webinars, or exclusive resources. This is a very good revenue model for you. Number 6, highly recommend. This one I would highly recommend. Online courses and workshops. That's what I do. I would recommend you get into the same. You can actually create and sell online courses or even offer workshops or webinars that leverage your expertise. Like, for example, we are 220. Now, if I actually had to charge like each person 2,000, I think right now I would have like 400,000 Kenya shillings from this particular session. So you see, it's a good way of you monetizing your stuff online. So you have this can actually be related to your brand's niche and provide significant value to your audience. Number 7, consulting and coaching. All right. You can actually offer consulting services. You can offer your expertise through consulting or coaching services. This can actually be very lucrative if you've established yourself as an authority in your field. Consulting and coaching is another way. Then 8 is speaking engagements. This means that you can do paid speaking. So once you've actually built a reputation as an expert in your niche, you may be invited to speak at conferences or events, which can be a source of income. That is it. Number 9, we have something we refer to as licensing and syndication, which is basically content licensing. You can license your content to other websites, publications, or media outlets for a fee. This can provide additional revenue and increase your brand's exposure. Just increase your brand's exposure. That is licensing and syndication. Number 10 is merchandising. So you can actually create and sell branded merchandise related to your online brand. These can include apparel, accessories, or other products that appeal to your audience. Many guys have seen Kife. Kife has this kikofia written Kife. And then you're going to find mugs. You can even have mugs. You can even have t-shirts. You can have hoodies that you can sell online. Now, we talk about famous sayings. I'm going to give you 5 famous sayings on online branding. You have to understand that. The first one is, I think a good number of you guys know Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos says that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. That's one thing you have to understand. Number 2, Seth Godin, who happens to be an author and a marketing expert, says that a brand is a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taken together account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. Number 3, we have Gary Vee, who happens to be an entrepreneur and a digital marketing expert. He says that your personal brand is your reputation, and your reputation in perpetuity is the foundation of your career. Simon Sinek, who happens to be an author and an inspiration speaker, happens to say that people don't buy what you do. All right, they buy why you do it, and what you do simply proves what you believe. All right. Finally, Neil Patel, who happens to be a digital marketing expert, says that branding is about the promise of a distinct, memorable experience. It's about creating an expectation and delivering it consistently every time anyone comes into contact with your brand. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our session today. I hope you've been able to get and grasp a thing. Now, before Mwende, I have to hit you with an ad. I have to hit you with an ad like YouTube. Our digital marketing bootcamp. How many guys have registered to be part of our digital marketing bootcamp that is starting on the 11th of March, next week on Monday? How many guys have registered to be part of it? Yeah. Now, one thing about the digital marketing bootcamp is you're going to be talking about digital marketing. From day one, we're actually going to be having 10 days of understanding digital marketing. That is getting to grasp every single thing about digital marketing. Now, this whole session is meant to acquaint you with the scale of digital marketing. Our classes are actually going to be virtual classes. And what I mean by virtual classes is that you're going to be using the same kind of format of understanding that you've seen today. This is what we're actually going to be using all through our learning process. It's 10 days of understanding digital marketing, how you can monetize it, how you can create a career from it, and even how you can actually use digital marketing to promote your services, your business, your brand as a person. Good. And you can even, yes, you can actually start monetizing it after the session. And one of the most important skills that you're going to be tackling that time is graphic design. I will help you create something like this. Like you can see over here, you can see my logo, Elvis W. You know, I can actually help you get to create something like this for your brand, such that anytime you have something in mind, you can actually conceptualize it and create it. So if you're interested in getting part of those particular sessions, you can reach out to Daisy. Is Daisy still here? Daisy, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Daisy is here with us. You can
Yes.
send her a message on WhatsApp and she's going to direct you on how you can actually be part of the sessions. Otherwise, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this particular session. For those who are asking whether I'm actually going to share these slides, yes, I will. I'll actually share them on my LinkedIn. I will share them in my Telegram channel as well as my WhatsApp groups. So in any case, I think you guys have had a good session. Mwanze kutoa sadaka. Mwanze kunitumia sadaka, yeah? At least kila mtu akinitumia ka 50 bana. I think I'll have like 5k, yeah? Or even 10k. Yeah? Naweza enda Java kesho niambie kila mtu. The bill is paid. Anyway, if you have any question or maybe any query, I can take the next one or two questions. Mengos, go ahead, ask your question.
Elvis, my question is, while creating a brand, is it mostly advisable to use your official names or your nicknames?
Use your official names. Mengos, najua unataka kuenda kupewa job. Watu wakuite Mengos. Use your official names.
Sawa bwana chief.
Yeah, haya. Mumo John.
Okay, thank you so much, Elvis. The session was nice.